Hello, beautiful people. You are welcome back again to my channel. This almost 9 o'clock. Um, I know it's a busy period for us now, and if you can just still find time to join, then I know you must have really gone out of your way to join. When I had my last live session, I talked about maybe sewing clothes life, and I didn't want this year to end without um, achieving that. So it has been a busy period. Faith, you are welcome. It has been a busy period, and your sister, let me put it that way, needs something to wear on Christmas Day. So I saw that style online, and I decided to replicate it. Just a second, let me get my book where I have my measurements, so we'll start. A second, please.
Hey, come back here. Oh, no. Cause you. No. No, I'm good, cause.
Sorry for keeping you all waiting. I went to get my jotter. Hope you all can see me where I have my measurements, and this is a rough sketch of the design. This is a rough sketch of the design. I just did it here, and I put my measurements. So I'll be using my phone here for the calculation of my measurements. I'll be using it for my measurements. So this style is two different fabrics. So I'll be using these two different fabrics. Sorry for the distraction. I'll be using this style for the fabric. This will be the lower part, because I cannot get exactly that fabric where I am now. So this will be the lower part, and for the sleeve, welcome Ami J, this will be for the body of the dress. I just got this fabric from Nigeria last week. Yeah, so I said let me just do something with it. So this is the style. I have my measurements here. So without wasting so much time, just the way I usually introduce my video on my normal videos. So the materials I'll be needing, maybe I should bring the camera down a little so you see what I have here. Okay, I have my sewing machine here already. You may not be able to see my face, but the sewing is more important. So I have my two fabrics here. I have my zipper here. I have my lining here. I have my elastic. This elastic is what I'll use for the round sleeve. I have it here. And this is my interfacing. This is a very weak one, but I'll just be putting it on the neck side of the dress for it to be stable. Then this my glittery stone is optional though. Maybe if I want to add extra beauty to the dress, I can introduce this. Then these are my rulers. Although I'm going to be using free hands. Welcome Tech with Bumi. I'm going to be using my free hands, so I will just keep this one here in case I just want to have a straight line. But I'll just be using a free hand so that the whole thing will be very fast. Okay, I have my measuring tape here. I have my chalk here. I have my pins here. I have my scissors here as well. So without wasting so much time, let's quickly proceed to the cutting of the design. my table is very small, so I'll just look for a way to maximize it. Like I said, this will be the main body of the dress. I'm going to be keeping this sewing machine down so that it doesn't obstruct. Hello, Serena, I can see you. Hello, Ojini, you are welcome. All right. If you want to begin your measurement, you will need to determine your widest body measurements and the full length of your dress. Those are the two major measurements that are very, very important. So my widest body, some people's widest body is their bust. Some are very busty. Some people are busty and are fuller on the breast region than their hip. Then most people, their hips are their widest body measurement. So for me, my hip is 42 and my bust is 39. So I'll be making use of my hip or round hip measurement as my widest body measurement. I'm trying to be very detailed so that if you have not sewn before, with this live video, you can just replicate yours. I didn't mention I also have my zipper as well. Okay, this is the right side of the fabric. The right side is usually the fine side of the fabric. So most people cut on the right side, but I'll be cutting on the wrong side in case I have chalk written on the wrong side. It won't be obvious compared to when you use the right side. So this is my fabric. I have folded it on the wrong side. This is my fabric. I have folded it on the wrong side. So the full length of this fabric is, I don't like assumption, so it's good we just see it the way it is. The full length of this fabric is, I hope the video is bright enough. The full length of this fabric is 45. Yes, it's 45. So, but the full length I am working with is 40 and a half. Okay, the full length I'm working with is 40 and a half, and this is 40 and a half, meaning we have more than enough. Don't forget, the design has like a separate gather under, so meaning the height of that gather is about 8 inches. I'm going to remove 8 inches from the full length. I'm going to be replacing that 8 inches with this other fabric I have here. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to get the sketch of what I did, but if I cannot get it, there's no problem. So the full style, the full length is 40 and a half inches. But I won't be cutting 40 and a half inches because I have another fabric below it. So I'm going to definitely subtract the design below it from the 40 and a half. So 40 and a half minus the 8 inches will be giving me 32 and a half inches. So that's it. So 32 and a half inches, I'm going to be adding like half inch sewing allowance. So let's proceed. First of all, I'm going to be folding this fabric with my widest body, which is 42. So 42 divided by 2 is 21. So meaning this is 21 inches on fold. This should be 21 inches on fold, but there's going to be sewing allowance added to it. I'm going to be adding a sewing allowance of about 2 or 3 inches because it's better the cloth is bigger than it's too small. So I should be having about 23 inches on fold, meaning 23 times 2 is 46. I'm now having extra 4 inches on my original hip measurement. Hope you are getting me. Sorry, my my son is trying to come and meet me here. That's why you can hear the noise. But then everything is under control. So I'm having 23 inches here as against 21 inches. That is 42 divided by 2. So I should be having 23 inches here. So if you are having extra allowance, then you will not go wrong. It won't be too tight for you. Please, anytime you want to get your perfect alignment, it's better you hold it with pins. But first off, I want to get my 23 inches. This is 20. You keep doing it till you get your 23 inches. Most times I may even leave it more than 23 inches. Please, my table is really small, so it's not giving me, it's small and it is round, so I'm not getting that this thing, but I would be able to sort it out. So this is like 23 inches now. Perfect. So I'm going to cut it now, but before I cut it, so that it doesn't wobble, I'm going to hold it down with pin. Just hold anywhere down with pin so that you will get a perfect cutting. So what I'll be doing next, I'll be trimming off this one. This is an excess for me now. I'll be trimming it off. It's actually a simple dress, and I didn't want to put lining before, but I like doing something very neatly. I may have to still put lining so that it will look better on the body. So this is so for now I will not be needing this part. Again, I'll be reducing this one, but before I reduce it, I like cutting off this part. This part, I don't like it when I sew clothes, so I'll trim off this part so that I will know the fabric I'm working with. I don't know, some people usually leave it, but for me, I like taking it off so that I can start my measurement from the neat part of the fabric. Hope you all can see. So that's all for that. I'm going to be marking out I will call that part I'm cutting out half length too, because the normal half length is the waist that we know. But since this cloth is a straight gown, we are not making use of this half length. We are making use of this other part that is below the hip. So I will call this one half length 2. So anytime you hear half length 2, I'm actually referring to this part I'm cutting out. So like I said, 30.5 is what I should have. That's 40.5 minus 8 is 30.5, or sorry, it's 32.5. But I'll make it 33 just in case of anything. Let me make it 33. So this is 33. You mark 33 all the way. Don't assume your hand is straight. You always keep measuring it so that it will be straight. 33. This is another 33 here. So you can now combine the mark. Like I said, I'll be doing more of freehand so that we can leave here early. So I'm cutting it out now. So again, this is the front panel. In this dress, we have the front panel and the back panel. So this is the front panel. I'll be placing it. I want to cut it one way. I don't want to cut the front first before cutting the back. So I'll be cutting exactly this, but with extra 2 inches width for the zipper. You know the back has zipper. So I'll be cutting exactly this length, but the width will be 2 inches wider. That's because it's the back panel, or that's because there is zipper at the back. So I'll be folding this one again into 2 to get the back panel. So I'll call this one, there's my chalk, I'll call this one F for the front panel. Then I'll be calling this one the back panel. Like I said, I'm going to cut exactly the length, but 2 inches wider. So just place it. If you don't have your pin on it, you can just still put the pin. So first of all, fold this one. I don't like wasting fabric, so I will make sure it's the 2 inches that is just added. There will not be any extra. The essence of me cutting this once is to save time. Some tailors or some fashion designers will cut the front first, then later they will not place on the back. No, I cut mine one way. There's no time to waste. See the way I'm trying to look at you guys. So there's no time to waste. I'll just place it like this. Like I said, it will be 2 inches wider, nothing more, nothing less. So now I'm going to be checking if this is 2 inches. Okay, this is exactly 2 inches. I'll make sure it is 2 inches all the way down. But then I still need to trim off this thing. I don't like it. I'm going to trim it off so that everything will be equal. I don't like it at all. I don't like when it shows on my clothes. So this is less than 2 inches, so I'll need to adjust this. I'll need to adjust it so that I will get my my 2 inches. You know, it's good to strive towards perfection. So it should just be equal all the way down. So this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, and this is 2. So perfect. You can just hold everything down with pin. Also, you look at this side if everything is equal. Okay, from what I'm saying, the front panel, she removed what? What is Dr. Tabat writing? So I said she. This one is a little wider than this, so I need to readjust. I need to readjust this so that it will be equal, and I will get my 2 inches. So it's just a matter of taking this one forward a bit. This table is not doing justice at all. I'm supposed to be using a rectangular table. That's where you can see what you are doing very well. But then, what to do? So, I'm going to be placing my front panel or front piece on it like this, and I will remeasure. Oh, I hope you guys knew what I did here. Oh my goodness, you can't see it. Let me take this camera down a bit. I think the cloth is more important than my face now. Okay. Okay. So this is the front piece, which I have just placed on the back panel, and I'm trying to get my extra 2 inches for zipper allowance. This is less than 2 inches. Don't know why. Just because I want to manage the clothes, I'm not. Let me take it forward a bit. Aha, by now I think it should be enough. Sometimes it's like anytime you try to take this thing forward, it doesn't just go forward. The material is refusing to go forward. It was held down before with pin, that was why. Okay, I think this should be very okay now for me. So I'm going to place this way while I have my 2 inches here. Note, I'm to take it upper to meet this, because I'm still going to trim this place off. So let me measure this now. I should have like 2. Can you see it? It's a very simple style actually. That was why I decided to do the style. At least something to rock on New Year. Something to wear on New Year Day. So this is my 2 inches. So no need to measure it again. Just cut straight. Maybe when next I go live, I will just cut out both the front and back bodies to save time. I will just explain it that, oh, I have cut it out. But then some people need to see how I got it. So that's all for that. I will still hold the 2 down like this. Then I will be trimming off this. I was looking for a very good fabric to combine with this. I couldn't get, so I just had to settle for that other fabric. Hopefully it comes out well. So if you notice what I'm trying to do here is 2 inches longer than this. That's just the difference between the 2 fabric. And the essence of the 2 inches is for the zipper. So after getting these 2 pieces now, it's just to transfer the measurements, and that's all. So guys, I have my front and back panel. Front, back. So there's what we call vertical measurement and horizontal measurements. Vertical measurement are those measurements you take that is like in form of straight line, such as your shoulder to your bust, shoulder to your waist, shoulder to your knee. All those ones are like vertical measurements. Then horizontal measurements is when you start talking about your shoulder width. You can see the direction of my hand. I think I need to show my face here so I can explain this better. So when you talk about the horizontal measurements, horizontal is like this. So when you talk about your shoulder, is an horizontal measurement. When you talk about your round bust, if I do something like, if I want to get my bust measurement, I will just do something like this. See, it is horizontal. So this is actually round bust measurement. If I want to get my waist measurement, it's also horizontal. If I want to get my hip, it's also horizontal, like that. So I have taken my measurements, both the vertical and the horizontal measurements here. So first of all, I'll be getting my, okay, from what I have here, I'm going to have a lot of excess. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of excess because I folded it twice and I'm going to have a lot of excess, but that's fine. That's fine. I just realized that now. Yeah, that's totally okay. So I'll be taking my shoulder measurement now. Let me take the camera down so that you will see it. So this is the full fabric. I'll be taking my shoulder measurements. My shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2, we'll be doing a lot of mathematics here, and that's why I have my other phone here for calculation. So my shoulder measurement is 18 divided by 2 is 8. I'll be having a lot of excess here. I've just realized it. 8. So this is my shoulder measurement, 8. Note, this measurement is also affecting the one below, 8. So that's my shoulder measurement. The neck width I'll be using is 5 inches. Okay? But because this fabric is on fold, it will be 2.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 2.5 inches, such that when I open it up, it becomes 5 inches. So this is 2.5 inches. This is my neck width, 2.5 inches. So what I'll be doing next is to come down by 1 inch on the shoulder line. This is my shoulder line now. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. That 1 inch is known as the shoulder slope. Okay? This is my shoulder slope because the human shoulder is not totally straight. It's a bit slanty, especially for the ladies. It's a bit slanty. So that's the essence of the shoulder slope. So what I'll be doing next, I'll be connecting it now. I'll be connecting this to my neck width. I'll be connecting it to the shoulder slope like this. This is how it's going to be. This is my shoulder slope. The next thing I'll be doing is to get my armhole. Armhole is where your sleeve is. So it's to get my armhole. How do you get your armhole? It's a simple mathematics. Your round bust divided by 6 plus 2 is how you get your armhole. For example, my bust is 39 inches. Divided by 6 is about 6.5. Then plus 1 is 7.5. So if I approximate the 7.5, that is 8. So that is my round hole measurement. So when people just use 8 without calculating, it's funny because everybody has different bust size. That is why sometimes when people wear clothes, they will tell you they cannot raise their hands because it was wrongly calculated and wrongly marked. So for me now, my round hole measurement is, let me still show my face a little. For me now, my round hole measurement is 8 inches, and it is gotten by dividing your round bust over 6 plus 1. The standard formula. It works for anybody. So let's proceed now. Let me mark out my 8 inches. Hope you guys are following me. If you are not understanding, just leave it in the chat. I will see it. So I'm going to be coming down by 8 inches. This is my round hole, my armhole measurement. This is my armhole measurement. Like I told you, I'll be doing freehand. So let me just use this one to draw a straight line. So this is where my armhole is. So I'm going to be taking my bust measurement here. Hi, Tech with Bumi. I'm going to be taking my round bust measurement. My round bust measurement is 39 divided by 2 or divided by 4, sorry, because this material is folded into 2, that's 4. So 39 divided by 4 now. Here's my calculator. Okay, 39 divided by 4. I will show you different ways you can calculate this thing. 39 divided by 4 is 9.75. 9.75. So you come here, mark your 9.75. Don't approximate, please. 9.75. If you don't have your calculator, another way you can do it is this. 39. This is my 39 here, divided by 4. So what you do, you first of all fold your measuring tape into 2 this way. This is already 39 divided by 2. Then you fold this front one into 2 again. You will get the same answer. So look at it. This is my 9.75 here. So if you don't have calculator, there's no problem. Your measuring tape will also give you the answer. So this is 9.75. I'll be adding extra 2 inches for allowance. You don't want a cloth that maybe when you've added over time, you cannot wear it again. So it's good you add like 2 or, okay, let me add like 2.5 inches to be on the safer side. So this is my 2.5 inches here. This is my seam allowance. Then next is to go to my waist. I don't think I need bust. Okay, this is my bust. Is to go to my waist measurement. From my shoulder, this is my shoulder line, to my waist is 15 inches, but I'll be marking 15.5 inches because when you join here now, it will be shorter. So I'm adding extra half inch here. So my shoulder to my waist, I'll call this one half length one. Half length one is 15.5. This is my shoulder to my waist, 15.5. There was a mistake here. I was not supposed to have this excess fabric, but it's fine. I will use it to do DIY. I'll look for one DIY to do. Okay, 15.5. This is my shoulder. Then this waist, you know, this is the vertical measurement. The round waist, my round waist is 36. Divided by 4 is 9. So I'm going to be marking 9 as my horizontal measurement here, because that's where the fitting of the cloth is. So 9. Don't forget I added 2.5 inches for this. I added 2.5 inches for seam allowance. So I'll be adding another 2.5 inches again here for my seam allowance. Then I will proceed to my hip. To my hip measurement. I'm trying to get the paper. Okay, this is the paper here. So this is the half length I just did now. So this is my hip. My hip is the widest measurement. I don't know if you can see it. So this is my hip. I want to take my vertical measurement. That is from my shoulder to my hip, which is 26 inches. So this is my shoulder here. I'll be going down to 26 inches. This is my 26 inches here. So that's where the beauty of the cloth is, where the shape came out. Although people have different shapes, people have some funny shapes. So this is my hip measurement. On this hip, I will now be transferring my round hip measurement. This is vertical, so I want to take the horizontal. My horizontal or my round hip is 42 divided by 4. So like I said, you can use your measuring tape to achieve that. So 42, this is my 42 here. You first of all fold it into 2. That will give you the half of the stuff. Then again, you divide it by 2. You take the one at the front, you do it this way. So this is now the measurement for my hip, and that is 10.3 or so. That's what is here. So now I'm going to be marking 10.3 here as my hip measurement. And don't also forget the seam allowance, which is 2.5 inches. You have to maintain it all the way down, 2.5. This is my 2.5 here. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. So we are almost done. So this part of this drawing, I'm going to maintain the same measurement, or rather I'll just add half. You know, it's like the thing spread out a little. So I'm just going to add half here, and this is where the fabric stopped. So now it's time to do my free sketch. It's time to do my free sketch. So it's to connect all the points. It's to connect all the points I've been marking out. Note, connect the allowance. Connect the seam allowance and not the main measurements you did. Because if you go and connect this one, after sewing it, the cloth will be very small. So what you will do, you will connect this seam allowance that you did. So look at my free hand. You will see the shape coming out now when I connect it. Can you see it? After joining the point, see the curve it gave me. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me draw it well. Can you see it? So this is the hip, this is the waist, this is the bust, this is the shoulder. Now let me mark out the armhole. Like I said, it's freehand. So I'm just going to use my free hand to draw this armhole. Normally on my channel, I have basic pattern for cutting front and back sleeve panel, and I also have for basic sleeve, but because I don't want this video to take too long, I don't want to go and bring my papers out, so I'm just going to use my hand to do this free sketch. Can you see how easy it is? With this one we are almost done, and you see why I had to place two fabric together. So if I'm cutting now, I will be cutting two fabrics at a time. I'll be cutting the front and the back at the same time. So let's cut out. This is the time one needs to have a very strong scissors, because sometimes if the fabric is too thick, you can't cut it out well. But just watch. My baby is saying he wants mommy. Okay. Yes, I'm coming here. Can you see it? Another reason why you should always hold it with pins. When you hold it with pins, you will not make mistake. So we have cut this out. So this shoulder slant, I want to cut it out. Then you'll be seeing the shape popping out very well. This extra does not really matter. When I'm sewing it, it will be inside. So don't forget, when we are doing the neck, I only did the neck width. I'll be using a neck depth of 3 inches. 3 inches, because you know I'm trying to replicate the cloth. So let me use a neck depth of 3 inches or 2.5. Let me use 2.5. So I used 2.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches deep. Like I said, I'm using my free hand again. So this is how the neck will look. But when you are cutting the neck, the front is usually deeper than the back. So I'm not going to cut all the same. I'm going to cut this one like this, but this one I will only come down by 1 inch. I don't want it to be too deep at the back. Anyway, I didn't see how the back is of that dress, but in most cases, the back is usually 1 inch deep. Hope you guys understand. So that's what I'm going to do here. Then this place is for the zipper. I'm going to be opening it up. But before I open it up, I'm going to notch here, so that when you are fixing the zipper, you will know where it's going to be. So this is my 2 inches here. So I'm going to carefully notch here, so that you will know that your zip is to be fixed in this pattern. So watch what I will do next. I'm going to open it up now. I'm opening it up. And let's see if we can achieve this design this night. Then for the back, like I said, for the back neck, just come down by 1 inch. 1 inch is just okay. Then when you have the 1 inch, just combine it. So now it's time to cut out the neck design. So this is for the front. I want to cut for the back now. Okay, I may still have to notch it because I've cut out the notching. So let me notch here again where the zipper will be. For the sleeve, I will cut that out much later. Let's just finish with this one. So this is where the zipper is going to be. So I've achieved my front panel and my back panel. Again, this thing I did now, I'm going to be cutting out the lining of it because I want the cloth to be a bit thick. Let me see if the cloth is thick. Or what do you guys suggest? Should I just sew it like that, or I should sew it without lining? Let me hear your inputs in the chat. Should I sew it straight like this, or I should cut out lining for it? I'm waiting. Should we go ahead to sew it this way, or should we cut out lining? The truth is, cut with lining. Okay, I should cut with lining. Good. So who else wants me to cut it with lining? Because I actually have my lining here. The truth is, when you have lining in it, it looks more matured, and when breeze is blowing, I feel with lining is better. Okay. So if I want to cut with lining, I will just place each on the lining and cut out. It's very easy to cut out lining. So this for the back panel. Let's set this one aside first. So another thing is, if you don't have so much fabric, maybe you are trying to manage your fabric, this thing I did on this fabric now, you do it on the lining. Your lining will now look as if it's your main fabric. Then you will now use your lining to cut out the fabric. Because see what I have just wasted now, though it's not wasted, but I can still use it. I don't have so much lining, so that's why I'm not going to waste it. So let's cut out the lining. It's very easy. Just place it on it, that's all. If you know you'll be using lining, make sure you have enough seam allowance, because when you are attaching your lining, it's going to take a little space from it's going to take a little allowance from the allowance you had before. So you are not going to add any extra to this lining. It's just place it on it the way it is and cut out. So just place it like that on it. That's all. So with this one now, I'm not wasting anything. Can you see it? I'm not going to waste anything now. Just what I will cut out. But before you cut out, except you are a pro, it's still good you hold it down with pin. It's good you hold it down with pin. The part of sewing that is a bit stressful, maybe I should show my face here since you already know what I'm about to do. The part of sewing that is stressful is the cutting. Once you can get the cutting, to sew is not a problem. I can sew this thing within 20 minutes. If you are doubting me, let's watch. It's just the cutting that takes time. Once you already know what to do, then you won't have to stress yourself. So now I'm going to be cutting it out, both for the front panel and the back panel. Then for the extra design under that gown, I won't be using lining. Rather, I'll be folding the fabric into two so that it will be fuller there. And in case maybe breeze blows it, when it's raised up, you'll be seeing the fabric rather than the lining. So I will not use lining for that. Rather, I'll use the fabric to make it. Hope you guys are following me and hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I know most people want to see the outcome. Let's see if I replicated the design. Let's see how it goes. So I'm actually doing this live now. I'm not adding any extra. We are just doing everything together. maybe after this video I'll go and check for the name of that style because I don't even know it. I just saw it and I liked it. Again, when you are cutting out, is in among the sewing rules. You need to stand. You need to stand while cutting, so that you don't end up having something different. It's good you are standing, no? In case you want to make, you don't sit down to make clothes. You stand to make it. You only sit down maybe when you are sewing it. It's allowed. But when you are cutting, it's important to stand so that you don't miss it. The next thing I'll be, if you look at that design very well, it has pockets. It has two side pockets. So we'll be cutting out the pocket, but I'll be fixing it after I'm done sewing it, so it doesn't waste time. So I've just cut out the lining. Can you see it? I've just cut out the lining for the front panel. Can you see it? So I'll be cutting out the lining for the back panel. Nothing special, it's just to do exactly the same thing. That's all. So don't forget, now we have two pieces here because I cut it into two. So we'll also be having two pieces here as well. Hope this lining will be enough. I just hope it will be enough. I doubt if this will be enough, but let's check. If it's not enough, then I have another one inside I can mix. I can add to it because I was suspecting it will not be enough. Okay, it's going to be enough. Narrowly, I'm going to use it because you know I have extra 2.5 inches, so it's going to be enough. Let me just use it instead of getting another new lining. Connect Love TV, you are welcome. I actually saw you. Thanks for joining. Okay. Okay, it's perfect. It's enough. It's enough. Now, these are the things tailors consider. Oh, will the lining be enough? Will it not be enough? But I think this is just okay. Let me take it down. No, it's not. It's not a straight fabric, so it's not enough. Let me put it this way and see. Let me see if the length is the same. It's not enough. Oh, what do we do? It's not enough. It's not enough, but I'm going to use it like that. It's my cloth. It's not for, I'm not sewing it for anybody. It's mine. I'm going to use it like that. When sewing it, I'm going to know how to join it. Okay, I'll just manage it. It's okay. It's fine. So again, I'm going to be using my pin to hold it. So at 20 minutes clapping. Connect log. Don't clap yet though. We have not finished though. We have not finished yet. Okay. So it's exactly what I did before. I just placed it. Yes, baby. I'm coming, okay? Yes. Daddy, what did Daddy do? Please, I'm sorry for the distraction. Sorry for the distraction.
Mommy.
Mommy is here. Mommy is here. So I'm just cutting out. This one is the cutting that takes time. Actually, there's a way you can patch up this lining, and yet it will give you what you want. But since I have enough seam allowance, then there's no need. I always know how to sew it so that it doesn't. Sorry, it's taking time, but that is the work we do. So I'm done cutting for the back piece. I'm going to be cutting it into two just the way the original fabric is. See the way I cut? If you don't know how to do this thing, you will just miss it too. This one I'm cutting very fast. So we are done cutting the fabric and the lining. The next thing is to get the dart. That is those things we have at the back of cloth that makes the cloth look fitted. We have it at the front, we have it at the back. So for the back, I'll be using 14. I will be starting from here down to my waist, and it is 14 or 13. Whichever one you use is okay. I will use 13. So how do you get the back dart? From my shoulder to my bust is 11.5 inches. From my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches. So from my under bust, from my back, from my bust to my waist, I'll be marking 13 inches. So see how I'm going to do it. Hope the camera can capture this place. Let me take it down. So to get the back dart, you come down, but before then, you get your bust width or your bust span. My bust span is 8 inches divided by 2, 4 inches. So first of all, get your bust span measurement. So it is from there you'll be able to get your dart. Look at it. Mommy. Yes, baby. So first of all, you remove your 2 inches. This is my back panel. So 2 inches is for zipper. So I'm not going to be taking my measurement from there. So don't get confused. This is 2 inches. Sorry, baby. So this is 2 inches. Then I'm going to be taking my bust span, which is 4 inches. You know how I got the 4? 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm going to be coming down now from my shoulder to my bust span to my bust point is 11.5. So from there downwards to 13 is for my dart. Did you see that? Then my 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. That's to get the middle. This is my 6.5 here. This is it. So what you're going to do now, you just draw a straight line like this. I'm trying to be fast. You draw a straight line. This is for my back dart. Then you take half an inch on the right side. I'm going to be taking half an inch here. I'm also going to be taking half an inch here. So this is my dart. This is my dart measurement. Then, because I am placing it on a lining, I'll just use my pin to transfer the dart. Instead of doing another dart for the lining, just use your pin to transfer it. See what I'm doing here? I'm actually trying to save time. See what I'm doing here? So with this pin now, I will know where to mark my dart on my lining. You see how easy it is? I'll just do this like this. Again, where the dart started, you put your pin. Can you see that? And where the dart ended, you also put your pin. So with this one, you will know where to put your mark. Hope you guys are following me. Oh. Can you see how easy it is? Then if you are not very comfortable with this, you can as well open it. Still put the mark here, put the mark here, put the mark here, put the mark here. Make sure every part has the mark. You put the mark everywhere. Put the mark here. You open it up again. You make sure you mark it. So that's what you are going to do for the front panel as well. Oh, I thought I plugged my phone. Let me plug it. Hold on, please. I'm plugging this phone so it doesn't go off. All right. So I've ended up putting that measurement on the fabric and the lining. Can you see that? It's just I'm going to meet Daddy.
No.
I don't want to meet Daddy. Hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing. With the pin, I will know where to put that. So that's all for this back panel. Excuse me. So the next thing is to put that for the is to put the dart in the front panel. Just watch. For the front panel, you also do the same thing. You get your bust span, which is 4 inches. I had 4 inches for the bust span. So if you can sit down there. So for the bust span, it is 4 inches. Again, I'm going to be marking from my shoulder to I'm going to be marking from here to my bust point 11.5. From here, I'm going to be marking 9 inches down. Unlike the back panel where I marked 13 inches down. But from here, I'm going to be marking from my under bust, I'm going to be marking 9 inches down. So from my shoulder to under bust is 13 inches, not bust point again. 13 inches, then I'll be marking 9 inches down. Hope you understand. From under bust to my waist is 9 inches for the front panel, while for the back panel is 13 inches from the bust point to the waist. So it's very easy. So this one now, I have like 9 inches, so divided by 2 is 4.5. So this is the midpoint. I'm going to be drawing a straight line like this. I will draw a straight line like this. I'll be taking the same half measurement I did for the other one on both sides. Can you see it? Half here and half here. So again, I'm going to be using pins to transfer the dart measurements. I'll be using pins to transfer it like this. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to be using pins to transfer the dart. So this is how you transfer the dart. This pin is going to, you just use it to mark here. Mark this place. Mark here as well. Then mark this place. Then you also do for the other side. This place this place and this place. So that's all. The next thing is for me to take it to the sewing machine. But before I will take it to the sewing machine, let me cut the lower part. Let me cut the lower part and probably cut out the pocket. For me to get the pocket is to mark 19 inches from the shoulder down. So let me show you how to cut out the pocket. You know it's on fold, meaning I'm going to be having pockets for the two sides. This for the right side or left side, and this for the right side or the left side. So for you to get the pocket measurement, you mark 19 inches down, depending on your height actually. So this is where my 19 inches is. Then from this point, I'll be coming down by 8 inches. Some people use 7. So I'm going to be notching here. This to show that I'm going to be putting my pockets here. So I'm going to be notching here like this. That's all for that for now. Then to cut the lower part of this dress, I said I'll be using this fabric from what the picture depicts. I'll be using this fabric. It's a new fabric. I'll just be taking a part, and like I said, it's 8 inches wide. So let me see how wide this is. This is about 11 inches. So if it's 8 inches, on fold will be 16 inches. Then plus sewing allowance. So let me cut out 8 plus 8, 16. 9 plus 9, 18. So I'm going to be cutting out 9 inches on fold because of the sewing allowance. I've added 1 inch. I'm going to be using like 1 inch to join it to this one. And if you look at the style, it was gathered. It was a gather. So I'm going to cut a very long piece, which I would do the gathers that I will combine with this fabric. So let's go. It's good to just cut everything out so that when you are just sewing, it will just be straight. You will not need to stress yourself. So I'm going to be cutting out. Let me cut it out from here. Okay. From here to here is how many? This is 33 inches. Okay, I'm going to cut out this piece. It's very okay. It will be very okay. The fuller it is, the better. So I'm just going to be cutting. I don't want to waste this fabric. I'll just cut out a little. So I'll be cutting out 9 inches. You know I don't like this part. I'm going to cut it out. So my 9 inches will be here. This is my 9 inches here. This is my 9 inches. So I'm going to be cutting it out from there. But first, I need my chalk. But if your hand is very straight, you can just go ahead to cut it. But let me just mark out my 9 inches so that I'll be on the safe side. Don't forget, I'm not placing my 9 inches on this black part because I will still cut it out. So I'm taking my 9 inches below this black line. So this is my 9 inches. This is my 9 inches. This is my 9 inches here. Like that, like that. So it's just to cut along the 9 inches mark. Oh, I thought of folding it into 2, but it's fine. It's okay. I'll still use it like that. Since it's gathered, it's going to be very thick. I thought of folding it into 2. It's okay. Or better still, I'll cut another one to add to it. So this will be for the lower part of the dress. Let me save my fabric. Let me save my fabric. Again, I don't want to forget to cut out this. I'm trimming up this. Okay, so that's how we go. I'm still deciding if I will combine it with another fabric because it looks very light. But let's see how it is, Sha. Let this one stay here. I will start sewing now so that I don't bore us too much. I'm going to bring out my sewing machine now to sew. Then later I will cut out the sleeve, or let me just cut out the sleeve now. Let me cut out the sleeve. My sleeve length is 11.5. Let me see how long this is. It's exactly 11.5, but normally you're supposed to add like extra 1.5 inch. So it's a little smaller. We'll come back to the sleeve. Let me just start sewing. I'll come back to the sleeve later. Before I start sewing, this neck is good you make it firm. So that is when you use your lining. Thank you very much, Tech with Bumi. You will just put your lining, your interfacing. Where's my interfacing? I'm going to be gluing my interfacing to this one now so that it will be thick. Just for the neck alone, so that it will be a little thick. So this is my interfacing. Let me just carry this this camera to the direction of my ironing board, so you will see how I'm going to attach my interfacing. This by okay. Okay, I want to attach my interfacing now. I'm going to plug. Some people don't know how to attach interfacing. So this is what I'm going to do. When you want to attach your interfacing, you make sure you put the rough side. That is the shiny side, is what you are going to place on the fabric. So once my iron is hot, just watch what I will do. You see this part I marked, the dots is where you are going to also put the interfacing. So this side is going to be it's going to be like this. You see it? It's just going to be like this. So I believe it's hot now. Once it's hot, you will know it's going to stick to it. So it's now glued to the cloth. Can you see it? It's now glued to the cloth. So that's that one. Then you use your scissors to trim out the excess. I'm going to use my scissors to trim out the excess now. My baby is crying. So I'm going to use my scissors to trim out the excess. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm trimming it now. The essence of this is so that the neck will not be sagging when you wear it. That's the essence of putting your interfacing to your fabric. You can just cut it like this. You can just cut this one like this. You see it? You also do the same thing for the back panel. That's just for the lining alone, no? Just for the lining, not the fabric itself. So for the back panel, I'll be putting the lining on the neck line the same way I did for the front panel. So I'm going to be removing it now. I'll go and place the lining and I'll be back. It's just the same way I did this. Just few seconds, or maybe I should direct the camera there so that you will see it. This style is easy. It's very easy. It's just sometimes when you look at some design, you'll be wondering how they made it. But once you can figure it out, then there's no issue again. So I'm putting this one here now. Make sure it's very hot. When it's hot, you just place it on it. So that's glued now. So for this part, I'm just going to do the same. Be very careful so that you don't allow it to get bumps. It can be very tricky sometimes. So this for one of the back panels, and this for the second back panel. Sometimes you need to know the direction so you don't go and have two wrong sides. Okay, that one is facing this way. Then this one should face this way. Okay. It should be like this. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the lining here, the interfacing, I'm going to be putting it here. I've done that mistake before. I went to put it on the wrong side, and before you know it, I was now having two wrong sides. So I've also done it for this one as well. So we can now proceed to sewing. That's the aspect I enjoy in fashion. I enjoy climbing the machine. So I'm going to trim up the excess now. Some people can actually do without it too. You can actually, it's not compulsory. But then the neckline of the cloth will just be sagging. So we are done for this one. Let's proceed to sewing. I don't have enough space here, so we'll start like this. So let's sew. That's what the video is saying. Let's sew together. So we want to sew now. This for the back panel. If you want to do this, this is the dart. I'll first of all pick the dart. See how I'll pick the dart? Just the way I measured it, you just go straight to pick it that way. You place it like this. So let's go. I've threaded my needle, my machine already, so I can just sew straight. You actually see that it's faster sewing than cutting. You back stitch, you go forward. We are done with this one. We are done. Where's my scissors? We are done sewing the darts. You can see that it's actually faster. Can you see the beauty is coming out? So that when you wear the cloth, it will have fitting at the back. So this is just the lining we are sewing now. So I'm going to be sewing the other part of the lining. That's for the back part now. Just the same thing I did is what I'll be doing now. So it's actually faster sewing than cutting. And again, it depends on your sewing machine. No, there's some sewing machine that can stress somebody. So see mine. I'm trying to see where the okay. So I've sewn it to go and meet with the other one. I've done the two back panels. So it's to the front panel now. The front panel is only one piece. Hope you remember. We only have two pieces for the back because of the zipper. So this one now, you just go ahead to stitch the darts. I want to see how we can finish this thing this night. Then when I'm done sewing it, I'm going to wear it and display the picture on my community page. My baby is crying. So for this for the front. Okay. So what I did now, I'm now going to be doing, can you see the beauty is coming out? See the front part of the lining. Can you see it? Now, whatever I've done now, I'm going to do the same thing for the fabric. But when doing this one, you have to be very careful because this is the part that is exposed. This is the part that is exposed. So just watch. On the wrong side is where you are going to sew on. That is why it's good to mark on the wrong side so that any error you have will be on the wrong side. So this is for the wrong side. Even if you did mistake for the lining, be very careful not to do this mistake on the, but this is what everybody will see. You can actually see how fast it is to sew. Sorry, I don't know. My thread is getting stuck. It happens. So let me just check. My thread is getting, oh, it has pulled out of the shuttle. So it's just a matter of fixing it. I will go. So guys, this thing just messes up. Okay. Okay, perfect. I've been able to rectify it now. It happens though. It happens very well. It's not like the machine is bad, but sometimes it just misbehaves. Okay. Okay, we can go now. This is too long. Let me reduce it. So I'm going to be sewing on the other part of the dart. Then you will now watch how I'll combine the two. So I'm going to combine the two. Make sure it is straight. So that's all for the front. So look at how it is on the front. Can you see the beauty is coming out? Okay, there's a pin here. I was wondering why it was stuck. So see, the design, the beauty is coming out already. Can you see it? So I'm going to be doing for the back piece now. I'm introducing the dart. But I wonder how some people sew without putting darts, because it has to have fitting. That's when some people will wear clothes, it will have fitting. This dart actually makes the clothes or the material, the design to have fitting. So let's do for the back now. The thread cut too, so I'm trying to I'm trying to fix it back. Okay, has been fixed. Where is the beginning of the dart? This is the beginning. It's not sewing well, baby. Baby, why are you crying now? It's bringing out plenty threads. So I think I have to check this. I don't know what's happening. It's just bringing out plenty threads. It's not supposed to. Baby, sorry. I don't know what's happening to my sewing machine, but I know it's going to sew. Okay, let's continue. So I've sewn one part of the dart, then I'm to sew the other part. Okay, this for the back panel. It's just only one side I'm going to put the dart. Then for the other part, okay, so this for the second part of the blouse or the dress. This machine is almost dry. So I'm done putting the dart. The next is to combine the lining and the fabric. So first, let me do for the front panel. This is the front panel. So I'll be taking the lining for the front panel as well. This is the lining for the front panel. Can you see it? So how do you do it? You place the right side of the lining. You will also face it to the right side of the fabric. So this is the right side. Let me take away this machine. This is the right side of my fabric. This is the right side of my lining. So you face the two. You face the two like this. Can you see it? You face the two this way. Two right sides facing each other. So what do you do here? You will have to sew the neck at 1/2 inch. See it? You sew the neck at 1/2 inch, then you will sew down, then you turn inside out. So just watch what I will do here. Like I said, it's always good you hold it with pins so that it doesn't, the alignment will not, it will be aligned, it will be well aligned. So see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to be sewing it now. Again, I said two right sides facing each other. See what I will do. Okay, we're on track. Make sure the two are together. So I've just sewn this. After sewing this, what you do is to notch. You have to notch it so that when you turn it inside out, it will relax. So this is how you notch. You notch it like this, just gently. Then you come here and also align it. See it? Make sure it's flat. You can leave out the, you know how they sew ready-made. You can actually hide all these things. If you don't want to weave, you just sew everything, then leave a little portion that you will use to turn it inside out. And that's exactly what I'll do now. So I'm going to, I can just leave here opened. I will leave only this shoulder opened. Then I will sew every other part. Just watch. With that, you will not see the raw edge of the fabric. Just watch. So I want to sew it down. I have my pockets there. Okay, don't worry, I'm still going to put the pockets. Just watch. You know, when we cut out this front lining, it was equal, so I don't have an issue. It is when I'm sewing for the other back panel, I'll have to be careful because the lining is a little smaller than the actual fabric. But this one I'm sewing freely because they are equal. So now I'm going to turn this way to sew. Like I said, I'm going to leave only this shoulder side opened, but I'm going to cover the remaining parts so that when you turn it inside out, it's going to be neat. It's going to be neat when you turn it inside out. So I've sewn the two sides of the front piece. Now I want to cover this under. See, here it's still open, so I want to cover it now. I want to stitch it. You see why you should always have excess. If the original length is like 30, you should make it like 30 and a half or 31, because of all this sewing. If you don't add extra, when you are done sewing, it becomes very small. So this is how it should look. So the next thing is to turn it inside out. I'm going to be turning it inside out from here. So just watch. You have to be careful while doing this. Oh, there's a pin here, so it's not moving. There's a pin holding it, so let me just take out all the pins. Trying to see where the pin is. There's a pin preventing it. Okay, I've seen it. So I'll remove the pin, then we'll go again. So we are going again. So we'll turn it inside out. After turning it inside out, I'm going to give it a good press. I'm going to be ironing it so that everything will be relaxed, everything will be flat. So here is it after turning it inside out. Sorry, baby. So this is it. Yes, baby. Okay. Daddy. Okay. I've done sewing it now, and I'm done turning it inside out. I'm going to be giving it a good press now. Can you see it? This is how it actually looks now. This is how it looks. I'm going to give it a good press, but before I give it a good press, let me sew for the back. So this is the front bodice. This is just the front bodice. When I iron it now, everything will be relaxed. Everything will look relaxed. Hope you can see that the beauty is coming out too. So everything is looking very relaxed. So let me sew the back. Then look at how it is on the other side. See, it looks like an already made. You see all the sewings are hidden. Can you see it? So let me keep this and sew for the back. Then we give it a good press. So like I said, this back is a little smaller than the actual fabric. So I'm going to be using Wisdom to combine the two. So this is how it's going to be. Again, you bring out the right side like this. Then you bring out the right side of this as well. This is not for the side. Yes, baby. I'm here. I'm looking for the other side of the fabric. Okay, I think this is it. No, this is not it. You will know when it's wrong. I think I'm not finding the other side. Okay, this is it. So I'm going to be sewing for the other side now. So just to place the two right sides like this again and do exactly what I did. But I said it's smaller, so I'm going to be using Wisdom now to join these two. If not, there may be an error when combining it. So see how it's going to be. Let me first see it and see how it looks. So again, I will only leave this part opened, this shoulder part opened, then I will sew the remaining parts. So let's see. Okay, this one looks a bit equal. So let's sew. Just the same quarter of an inch I used as cut. It got stuck, so I'm going to sew it. I'm going to be threading it again. I don't know why this machine is just misbehaving. Okay. Okay, so let's sew. I'm sewing the back panel. And I'll turn it this other way to cover this side. Any excess lining I'm going to trim off. Make sure it's very relaxed when sewing. So I've sewn one side of the back panel. This is one side. I'm turning it inside out, but let me sew the other side. This for the other side, and this is the lining. Again, place the two right sides. Let the two right sides be facing each other like this. Then again, sew everything. Leave only the shoulder part. Leave only the shoulder part so that you can turn it inside out from there. Because if you sew everywhere, you will not have where to turn it inside out. Okay. This is actually going to be my New Year gown. Oh, thank you very much. Tech with Bumi, thank you. We'll make sure we achieve this tonight. So I'm closing the under part now. Now see, it's very, very relaxed. Very, very relaxed. So, for the neck, we are going to notch it like I did for the front panel. I'm going to notch the neck. I'm going to be notching the neck of the other part. I'm going to be notching the neckline now. And now it's time to turn it inside out. Please, I'm going to turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it. So I'm going to take it to the ironing board to give it a good press so that it should be flat, to be relaxed. It's going to be very, very relaxed. So I'm going to take the two fabrics to that is the two panels. I'm going to take them to the ironing board. Just watch. Make sure you bring everything out. Can you see it? I'm taking it to my ironing board. We are going to give it a good press. Just watch. Oh, thought it was charging. Thought it was charging. Just wait for me.